You ever wonder what it's really like to wake up spiritually? Is it all bliss and peace, or is it more like emotional chaos? In today's video, I want to talk you through some of the most common signs of a spiritual awakening so you can recognize them if you're going through it and maybe make the process a little easier to navigate. Let's dive in. So first off, let's talk about what spiritual awakening even is. Basically, it's a shift in consciousness, a realization of a deeper truth about life, yourself, and the universe. Some call it a big aha moment or a profound realization, but it's really about understanding your true self and your connection to everything around you. For some, it's something they actively seek. For others, it just hits them unexpectedly, like after a big life event or a near-death experience. It's often described as realizing you're not just the person you thought you were. You're something way bigger than that. You're the awareness, the consciousness that's always been there. There's an old Buddhist story about a fish seeking the ocean. If you've seen the movie Soul, you've briefly heard this one. A fish overhears other fish talking about the ocean and how vast and beautiful it is, so the fish becomes eager to find the ocean and see it for itself. It swam far and wide, asking different sea creatures to direct it to the ocean, but never seemed to be able to find it. Eventually, the fish became exhausted and disheartened, coming to terms with the fact that it may never get to the ocean. It came across an old sea turtle, and one last time asked for help to find the ocean. The sea turtle tells the fish it's already in the ocean, and the ocean is all around it, and it's interconnected with the fish. The sea turtle says you cannot separate yourself from it because it's the essence of your existence. Within our spiritual journeys, we're all fish looking for the ocean. A spiritual awakening is the beginning of recognizing that we've been swimming in the ocean the whole time. All right, now that we got that covered, let's talk about the feelings that come with it. One of the first things you'll probably notice is a heightened awareness. As we start to truly understand that we are awareness and consciousness, it's common to start inhabiting that space more. This may feel like a heightened awareness of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings. A sense of presence tends to come with a spiritual awakening, which brings to light things that were a bit more subconscious or feel like they were in the background of your life before. Starting to meditate can really bring more awareness of your thoughts and emotions in a way that lets us acknowledge, appreciate, and examine without judgment and let go of those that we don't need to hold on to. This process is a good way to check in with ourselves. Eckhart Tolle refers to this as the transition from the unconscious to the conscious mind. This heightened awareness can also bring some emotional stuff to the surface that you might have been repressing. Some people may feel this part of their awakening as emotional turmoil. Repressed thoughts, beliefs, and traumas can come to the surface during this stage. It's important to be conscious of what's happening and seek help if needed. Therapy can be a great way to navigate this part of your spiritual awakening in a healthy and safe way. I believe this is the beginning of the understanding that your consciousness is all of you, the good and the bad. This is your consciousness's way of cleaning out its closet, bringing up these negative thoughts, beliefs, and memories so we can deal with them and heal. Some may deal with this with ease, allowing them to recognize and let go of repressed thoughts and emotions, while others may have a harder time facing them. Both responses are okay. Again, it's important to seek help if needed. Sometimes it's too overwhelming, difficult, or even confusing to face these things on your own. Another thing you might experience is a bit of an identity crisis. As you start questioning your beliefs, you may find yourself wondering, wait, who am I really? This is totally normal, even though it can be a bit confusing. It can take time to rebuild our identity based on new beliefs and a changing sense of what our identity is and means to us. It may be helpful to listen to the stories of others who have gone through a similar thing, or listen to stories from those who have gone through a deconstruction upon leaving a religion, as it's the same process. During this time, be gentle with yourself. Try to be open and accepting to change and take it one step at a time. All of this may require help to get through and understand, so seek it out if needed and take it at your own pace. Hopefully this starts a journey of recognition, healing, and being able to let go of some of the things that don't serve us anymore. A lot of people experience a feeling of connectedness. Once you've realized that you're not just an isolated person, but part of this vast interconnected web of life, it's like the whole world starts to make more sense. You feel this oneness, this sense that you're a part of something way bigger than yourself. It's common to start to see and feel that we're all a single thread woven into the tapestry of life and the universe. Whether it's an understanding of collective consciousness and that we're a single expression of it, or seeing the part we play in nature and the cycle of life, it's the understanding that we're all a part of something bigger than ourselves. This can bring a great sense of belonging or purpose to those experiencing it. It can be a great form of comfort. To some, this can bring peace, as it can feel like you're exactly where you need to be, and that your part to play in this life is just as important as everyone else's part. This may also bring a shift in values. If we've lived most of our lives in our ego and as individuals, we may change our thinking once we truly understand that we're all in this together and we're all one piece of a greater whole. That said, This new sense of connection can also bring up some feelings of isolation. You may start to feel a little disconnected from those close to you, especially if you're on different stages of your spiritual journey. It may feel frustrating to feel this deep sense of connection to everyone around you, but have others disregard it. One way to deal with this is to accept that everyone is on their own path. They may not be where you are, and that's okay. Connecting to other people in this life is very important to us. We're a tribal species. So a part of the spiritual journey is learning how to put aside your differences for the purpose of connection. You don't need to believe what I believe, and vice versa. We're all on our individual journeys and have our individual experiences. It may also be helpful to seek out a community that's further along on the spiritual path to be able to talk about your journey and be heard with understanding. That's part of my goal for this channel, to bring people together and talk about our journeys, spiritual concepts and beliefs, and play in the space. Some people may experience a big increase in their intuition during spiritual awakening. This can happen for a number of reasons. The first being that your intuition or gut feelings were always there, but you're now learning to trust them more. As we break away from our thoughts and beliefs that may have been holding our intuitions back, or some past emotions or experiences masked as our intuition, but were more of a trauma response. Another reason this happens is we're starting to dissolve the ego and let go, which opens us up to universal connection and getting into our flow. Think of it as previously swimming against the current and then changing directions to be able to flow with it. Your intuition will guide your state of flow if you let it. On the other side of this coin is resistance. We may feel a deep urge to resist changes to our values and beliefs and resist our intuition or flow. A big part of this is the battle between ego and spiritual consciousness. The ego serves a purpose. It's our protector. It's the individual part of the individual experience of a collective consciousness. The ego has a hard time letting go of things. For example, a trauma response to a situation is essentially your ego saying, "Seen this before, we need protection." However, it may be that the last time you were actually in that situation was when you were a child and you don't need that response anymore. Prior to spiritual awakening, we spend our lives believing that we are our ego. We are the thoughts and beliefs and emotions we experience. When we start to separate from the ego and live more as the observer or our true self, the ego can be resistant. It doesn't want to disappear. It can have a hard time letting go of us. We can also have a hard time letting go of it. We've used the ego for identity for so long that it can be hard to stop. This is where meditation and self-reflection can really help. Observing the resistance and understanding where it comes from can help get past it. Daily journaling can also be helpful to recognize patterns or further understand what we're feeling. Finally, a lot of people experience an increased desire for solitude. It's not that you don't like people, but the spiritual process is deeply personal. You might crave more alone time to meditate, reflect, or just be with your thoughts, and that's fine. But remember, balance is key. It's important to spend time with others too, even if it's just to ground yourself or remind yourself that you're not alone in the world. Whether that's making time for family or friends or connecting with others on the spiritual path, or both. Hopefully the community we build here helps a little bit as well. So that's a lot to unpack, right? But I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced any of these signs during your spiritual awakening? What was it like for you? How did you navigate it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Like this video if you found it useful. It really helps get these videos out there. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love for you to be a part of the community. Let me know what you'd like to see next. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the spiritual path, I have a video about what's really going on with manifestation coming soon. I'll see you there.